Hey everyone, welcome to Bite Your Tongue, the podcast. Join me, your host, Denise Gorant, as we explore the ins and outs of building healthy relationships with our adult children. Together, we'll speak with experts, share heartfelt stories, and get timely advice, addressing topics that matter most to you. Get ready to dive deep and learn to build and nurture deep connections with our adult children. And of course, when to bite our tongues. So let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bite Your Tongue. I'm Denise Gorant, and we're back with another episode of Straight from the Listener Line, real questions, real answers. In this series, we take one real listener question and bring in an expert to help us through it, honestly, thoughtfully, and with real life experience behind it. Remember, you can also send us your questions by calling our listener line at 719-347-1106 or by emailing us at biteyourtonguepodcast@gmail.com. Now let's dive into today's question. We're back again with Dr. Jeff, and we have another question from our listener, and it's really about how long you wait until you contact your adult child when you're not talking to them. So this listener writes us, and she says, "Hello, I've loved your podcast. Been so grateful for discussions and advice. I'd be interested to hear a discussion about how often to contact an adult child. How long should we let time pass before we reach out, especially when they're not reaching out to us? How can we address our kid on how often to talk? And should we do it by text or email?" So, Dr. Jeff, what's your response to that listener question?
Well, let me just give you a broad brush answer right off the bat that this is such a common question I hear from parents that reach out to me. It really comes down to this dilemma they feel internally of, am I doing too much or am I not doing enough? And there's no perfect formula, but there is a healthy balance. You want to reach out to stay connected, but you don't want to do it in such a way that you're chasing your child. We don't feel good about ourselves when we're chasing, and our kids don't feel good about that, our adult children. So for a lot of parents, it might look like a short check-in every week or two, just thinking of you, hope things are going okay. That usually works. Where the parents get stuck, Denise, and I see this all the time, is when their thoughts start racing ahead of them. I reached out last time. They didn't respond. Maybe they're pulling away. Maybe I should just say something about blank, blank, blank. And before they know it, the message carries the weight of all that when they do reach out, when they're internally all jacked up like that and revved up. And then it turns into essentially, why haven't I heard from you? It's a judgment. It's an accusation, just like what you and I were talking about on the podcast, right? About how so often adult children feel evaluated, and it's unintended. I've had one mom I was working with recently, her emotions got the best of her, and she said to her son, "I guess you're just too busy for the family right now." It's understandable that parents are going to get pretty frustrated, but part of the work is helping parents catch that moment before they reach out and ask yourself this question: am I inviting connection or am I expressing my frustration? Both are real, both are valid, but they're going to lead to very different outcomes when you use those messages with your adult child. It's okay at some point to name the pattern, but do it calmly. I don't want to crowd you, but I want us to stay connected. I'd like to find a rhythm that works for both of us. Something like that. It's taking away the judgment. It's naming that you want the connection, but you're not being a bull in a china shop, if people still know that expression. Then when you step out, see what happens. But the hardest part of all this, Denise, is to not flood yourself, not be keeping score, not saying, hey, I'm always the one reaching out, not to punish your child. Take care of yourself, because a healthy relationship can't be built on one person doing all the work.
I think that's great advice, and I think it's hard for all parents. I struggle with this myself, when to reach out, when not to reach out. They're living their full lives. Our lives are not as full as theirs typically now, so it's a tough question. You did a really good job answering it, and I hope the listener likes it. Thanks, listeners. I hope you loved this edition of Straight from the Listener Line, real questions, real answers.